Alright, what's up guys, it's Case here and I am back with another Kingdom Hearts 3 news video for you guys today. How you guys doing today? What's up? I'm really excited to talk about this one because there's a lot of cool stuff talked about in here, so this one's gonna be really cool, I think. Also, I took down that video that I posted last week because it was full of misleading information. You know, nothing ultimately happened at that GDC thing, so I was just like, yeah, don't keep that up. I took an L on that day, so, you know, whatever. But again, we got some really cool news right here to talk about. I got some allergies going on, so I gotta fight through that for this video, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. So yeah, let's get into this. So if you didn't see the video that I posted last week that I deleted or did not keep up with Kingdom Hearts news last week, Tai Yasue was at GDC this past week. You know, the Game Developers Conference. This was a very eventful one this year. It's crazy. Like, they revealed Google Stadia, of course, the big one this year. And I'm not really on board with that yet. I don't really know all about that stuff. I'm not really kind of a streaming guy, so I'm gonna stay away from that. And also, Tai Yasue did a little presentation at the Unreal Conference. They're talking about the development of Kingdom Hearts 3 and how they did a lot of certain stuff in there, and it's really fucking interesting. I really recommend you go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go check that out, watch it. Really interesting stuff. But Tai Yasue also did some interviews about Kingdom Hearts 3 over the course of GDC, talking about the development of the game and all that good stuff. And the one we're going to be talking about right here is from Game Informer, because there's a lot of interesting stuff in this interview right here. Like, he talks about pretty much all the things that fans are really contentious about, like all the stuff that's controversial with fans, like the lack of difficulty, like a boss fights, like a Final Fantasy characters, stuff like that. It's all talked about and addressed in here. So I think it's something that you guys really need to hear and talk about. So yeah, let's actually get into this. The first thing he addresses right here is critical mode and why it was not included in Kingdom Hearts 3, which, by the way, that's coming sooner than you think it is. They confirmed that it's coming really soon. I was gonna make a video on that, but I was busy with other things. But by the way, critical mode coming really soon to Kingdom Hearts 3. Be excited about that. But here's what he had to say about it. There was a lot of feedback that said that the standard and beginner were pretty easy. I guess we sort of aimed for that though. For us, we wanted it to widen our audience, so that was the whole point of that. But we did get a lot of responses saying fans wanted more difficult modes, so we gave them critical mode. I sort of expected that people might think it was too easy, but we were targeting an audience. My kids, for example, who have not played Kingdom Hearts. We really look at what everyone is writing. We totally understand and respect that. I can't make any announcements just yet, but he did kind of make an announcement that it's coming really soon anyways, so whatever. But pretty much what he said there is that they wanted to target a wider audience with this game, so they want to make the difficulty a little bit lower so those people could feel more at home. They wouldn't feel like alienated with the major difficulty and stuff like that that previous Kingdom Hearts games might have had. So that's what they initially did that for. That's why they excluded critical mode from Kingdom Hearts 3. And yeah, that's the response I kind of expected out of this. I think they said that exact thing in the critical mode found in Kingdom Hearts 3 video. If you want to go check that out, I said that exact thing, I think. So this is what I expected them to say, because Kingdom Hearts 3, it's a huge fucking game, man. It is appealing to a wide audience. It is so far the highest selling game of 2019, like in the world. Nothing's beat it yet. So it's a pretty big game, to say the least. So they need to market it to a wide audience, and if they're going to do that, they have to dumb down the difficulty a lot to make sure it's more appealing to those people. Because if they made it as difficult as some of the past games in the series were, I think that would have alienated them a little bit, because they don't like games to be too difficult. They just like to sit down, play a game, have fun. You know, that's kind of what they are, casual gamers. And this is probably, again, their first Kingdom Hearts game. Yeah, it does seem kind of dumb to hop on to 3 when there's a lot of other titles that they probably don't even know about to hop onto, and this is the end of the saga, so that kind of sounds dumb. But that's just what happens. So they needed to do that to appeal to a more wider audience. If they kept it like that, it would have alienated them. So I think it was a good decision in the end. I mean, the game sold like 5 million copies in its first week or something like that, some crazy amount. So obviously it did work out for Kingdom Hearts 3 in the end. They knew that fans wouldn't really be happy about it, so they did consider that. But hey, Square Enix, they're a business. They like to make money, and they do whatever it is to make them the most money. And that is what would make them the most money in the end, appeal to a more wider audience. So that's what they did in the end. So again, not really surprised by that. Next, he talks about the boss difficulty in the game, which I see a lot of other people complaining about too, how easy the bosses are. Like, I see a lot of people talking about that secret boss and how easy that is. So there you go with that. So here's what he had to say about that. We felt that it was enough. When you're playing the game, you don't want the boss fights all the time, right? We sort of paced it when we were doing the level design. We also really focused on changing the gameplay, going in on our ship and going in the robots. As the gameplay designer, you don't want to have it too hard so people give up. it was a difficult balance to strike. So it's pretty much what he said before. You know, a lot more people are playing this game now. It's a wider audience, so they have to make it a little bit more easier and a little bit more spread out so the people playing the game wouldn't be too alienated by it. And they knew that would piss off the hardcore fans. They tried to strike a balance, but you know, they were ultimately pissed off in the end anyway. But again, I understand why they did it. Wide appealing game. They need to dumb it down a little bit for those people, so that's what they ultimately did. For me personally, I'm not really so much of a difficulty guy because I suck at video games. Like, hardcore, you don't even know how much I suck at them. So I'd rather a game be a little more easier. Just for me, I always play Kingdom Hearts on standard mode. I've never played it at like higher than that because I just suck. And that's just me personally, though I know a lot of people, other people feel that other way, which is fine. That's just me, how I feel. So when the critical mode ultimately comes in, I think that fans will be satisfied with it. I think they said that fans will be satisfied with the amount of difficulty that they're going to be adding to it. So I'm really excited to see if that's going to add some other improvements to the boss fights in this game, and hopefully people will be more satisfied with that. But we'll have to wait and see on that. It's coming really soon, so we won't have to wait that long for it. Next is not really contentious, but still a cool thing to talk about. Key player information is just kind of general about that. He says, that was a conscious decision. I think for us, that was a big experiment as well. You don't see a lot of games where you can do so much as quickly. Things are usually more controlled. It's a new age, players want more stuff, and we felt that our player base was changing, so we adapted to that. But for me, it was a little bit of a risk how that would play out. I really like key player transformations myself. I think they were really cool. I think they were a cool addition to the game, and they ultimately made the gameplay a lot more fun. So I really like that they did that for this game, even though it was kind of a risk for them. And I think it could have been improved a little bit. Like, there's some memes going around there, like someone's trying to open a chest, and when they press the triangle button, a big fucking carousel just comes out of nowhere when they're just trying to open the chest, and it's really funny kind of stuff. But I do really like it. I think it makes gameplay just a lot more fun like that. So I really like that they did that for this game. But now we're getting into spoiler territory. Ooh, man, this one's gonna be fun. So if you haven't finished the game yet, spoiler alert, obviously. I think you should have finished it by now anyways, so why am I even saying that? But now we're getting into some cool stuff. Spoilers. So the first thing he talks about right here is the lack of Final Fantasy characters. Ooh, that's the other biggie right there. I made a whole video on that. Got a lot of views. That was really fun to make. But let's see what he had to say about the lack of Final Fantasy characters in this game. We had a lot of original characters. It's the conclusion of the Xehanort saga, and we really wanted to concentrate on the main storyline of Kingdom Hearts, such as Sora and Roxas, for example. They're having all these stories in other games, and we wanted them to conclude. Yeah, basic response right there. You know, there's just so much other stuff going on in this game that the Final Fantasy characters just couldn't really fit in, so they excluded them. And yeah, I think that's the exact same thing the Moore said back at E3 2018, a while back last year. So, you know, it's been thrown around a little bit, but this is concrete information right here. Yeah, that's why they weren't included in the game. And I completely understand that. I completely 100% understand that. Like, don't get me wrong, I miss Cloud, I miss Leon, I miss Sephiroth as much as the next guy. I think there were really great inclusions in those games, and the Sephiroth boss fights, they were really awesome too. But, you know, there's just so much other stuff going on in Kingdom Hearts right now that they have to include all that stuff in this game. So they kind of excluded them out of there. It's built so much over the past almost 20 years at this point. It's 3 years, it's going to be 20 years. Oh my god. So they need to focus on that stuff, wrap that up. Final Fantasy characters, I think they just would have been a little bit of a distraction, and they need to wrap up so many things in this game that they just couldn't fit in. So that's why they were excluded from the game. I completely understand that. I'm not really mad about it at all. I do miss them, but I understand why. So there you go. Next, he talks about the 10,000 Heartless battle and what they did with that and why they did that with that in the game. So here's what I had to say about that. We changed a bit at the end. The final moment when we put the master up, we didn't have the train. I've never said this before. It came at a very late date, so that was added. I wanted it added because I wanted something new for a Kingdom Hearts 3 battle. The train you could only use for the Rock Titan and the Hercules stage, and I thought it would be a nicer conclusion if you could use that at the last moment. So dang, I didn't know that. So I guess in that Day One update that we downloaded for the game when we first got it, I think that included that train at the end of that 10,000 Heartless boss fight. So that's really interesting right there. You know, I really like that they did that. You know, it's like a callback to the Rock Titan battle before, and I think that freaking train was really cool in the first place, so I like that they used it again. And it kind of gives me flashbacks to the first gameplay trailer that they showed off for Kingdom Hearts 3 way back in 2013. So I think that was a cool little throwback thing that they added in there. So I like that I did that. I think that was cool that they added that back in there. And finally, he talks about his favorite moment in the game, and it's an emotional one, so let's talk about that. all the characters coming together. It was actually emotional for me too. Birth by Sleep, that was one of the first Kingdom Hearts games I made. It was very sad at the end when we made that game because everyone got separated. Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. And then all these years later, I get to make that end for that. That moment is very special when they meet again. You sort of relate that with your life as well. I think that's how a lot of fans feel as well. They relate to that in their lives. I didn't write the story, Nomura did, but to experience that as a player, that was very special to me. God damn, is he right about that? Oh man, that hit me right in my fucking heart when I first saw that, man. God damn, that was emotional. Even though the entire ending section I think could have been improved a lot, because I think that's kind of the big weaknesses of Kingdom Hearts 3. Like at the very end, when they're fighting all those people, you know, with those final bosses and stuff like that, it's just like done. All these characters, they die off. These characters that we've built up for so many years, they just get like a 5-minute cutscene to end their story. So I think that could have been done so much better than it did. I think they could have made the ending a lot longer than they actually made it. But that part, man, God, that hit me right in the feels, man, to see them reunited and all that stuff. And also for Axel, Roxas, and Xion. That's equally as emotional because we thought Xion was just gone forever. But now she's back. Even though they didn't really explain it that well, she's back. I don't care. It makes me all emotional as well. So that was pretty emotional right there. But that's the interview right there. That's all he has to talk about in there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully you got some insight on some things that you were questioning, like the lack of difficulty and all that cool stuff. So that's all I want to talk about, you guys, in this video. Tell me down in the comments below what your opinion is on this. What do you think about the lack of critical mode? Do you understand why they didn't include it and why it's a little bit less difficult than some other games? And what do you think about them excluding Final Fantasy characters? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you okay with it? Tell me down in the comments below what you think about all the stuff they talked about in here. Also, make sure to subscribe and like this video and follow me on Twitter because that'd be really awesome if you did. This is McKay Central, and I will see you guys later. Bye.